Try to start that back up. Oh, this all got very confusing today and last night. I was hoping to hop on with a friend and had a lot to do to set that all up. But let's hop in the game and I'll update everybody on some of the changes that we've got going on. Some of the exciting things that are happening in the project room. I am just hoping to God I do not kick the light stand that is holding the camera. That would be incredibly jarring for everybody. I will apologize for the mouse mat, like the mouse movement sounds. It's the best solution I have at the moment. That doesn't, it enrages me this much instead of the tiny bit more that I would need to get fully tilted. It's unfortunately very audible though. So performance looks really good. I'm quite happy with that. Looking at my OBS preview for whatever reason isn't helpful because it's not actually showing the game. More technical difficulties. Is our side camera working? It is. Amazing. Why no worky over here? That's what I get for being on a static image for so long. Can't tell anything different. Well, it's not going to show anything if I have it turned off. Okay. So it's straight up not connected anymore, even though it's powered. So we're going to unplug it. Plug it back in, and I'm going to leave the game because I am trying to be somewhat efficient in the game, and I've had to do so much testing on the world that it's caused a lot of oh my god. What if it's not been loading the camera and that was the performance gain that I thought I saw? That would be so frustrating. That just wouldn't be fair at this point. So is this loading? So that's, I see. So the preview got stolen by the software and everything has been reset. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. How do we get you to never do that again? Okay, we're gonna go over here. Activate. So now we have a live view. Hello, this is me. And if I go to my properties, everything is as it should be, except our color range got changed because that was silly. So that's back. Now we have to go back into the software. And we need to adjust our exposure because our frame rate needs to be exactly 60 frames a second. And our ISO needs to be adjusted to get a somewhat decent balance. And of course my preview is delayed by 1 second to match the audio. So it's all just good and nice and lots of confusion. So I have to manually kind of dial in the contrast and everything once again. I imagine our focus is off, so we're going to set that back to manual. And I believe it was 11 on the scale that looked right, but that's super duper blurry. So let's... we'll just drag it. Maybe it was 8 or 7. Back a tiny bit. That looks pretty sharp. So that's about 9. Let me scroll through here again. Somewhere 8 to 9. It doesn't look amazing, but I'll take it, I guess. Okay, so now we have that running. We're gonna minimize that and check our CPU usage, and this is all still going, right? I can see... because our CPU usage has dropped significantly. We're under 60% now, and we still have the game running. Let me double check YouTube still. So YouTube's still getting a feed. Twitch is getting a feed. We're recording our local copy. So this is much more normal to what I was expecting out of all of this. I think I somehow had a duplicate, like how you can have memory leaks, which I'm not entirely sure what those are, but I know in software it's like it continuously increases the amount of RAM that it's using while you're using it until you just like run out of RAM. Maybe I had a CPU leak and it just kept using extra CPU. I'm wondering if having to use the webcam software and that possibly having a preview somewhere, if it was just creating a loop of CPU usage. So to fix that, a computer restart may have fixed that. But we did it the extremely hard way and got it done. So now I am having a little bit of confidence that we could play something else. And potentially we will. It would be really cool to have a demo here of some different games. And to that end, I'm going to go ahead and download a game in the background. Which normally wouldn't be a great idea because I don't have any limits set here, but I think we would be okay for small downloads like this. I just can't remember what it's called. I think it's... I know what it is. It's a 1 gigabyte download. So we'll download that. Also got another game which is 96 gigs. That one's already done. And then I think we might... It's 2.4, so we'll install that as well. So what I did on yesterday, the day of yesterday, what I did... Some weird window scaling stuff going on too. Kind of bizarre. Screen's downloading here. That's looking good. Those two are downloaded. Just got that. Check in on there, and still seem to be streaming decently. Okay. So, I think we can play the game now. Ah, wow. The preview works. Amazing. Okay, so we'll get in game. We'll talk about yesterday. And had I actually thought to prepare a little bit more, that would have been really good to have a few notes for myself. But yesterday I put up a new green screen behind me and did some modifications to the computer to try to get it running a little bit better for me. I picked up a 980 GPU from NVIDIA, and that was very affordable, and I just needed it to have as another HDMI out for... Oh, I made noise. So our troll friend is coming to say hello. Not quite ready to deal with the troll. Let's stay in here. I'm going to try to not lose it over listening to my cheap glass mouse pad here, which sounds horrendous. But I installed the GPU, which involved needing to make space in the computer to even fit it. So I uninstalled a Wi-Fi card that I had for an original plan, and I found a different way around that. So I didn't need that anymore. So I got my space, installed the GPU. Then I thought, well, if I even install one game that's bigger, like Fortnite, I'm probably going to be screwed because I really don't have the space for even one game. So what ended up happening was I also fished out a 2.5-inch SATA SSD and installed that, which was its own little treat, and got that installed. And then I started setting up the stream so I could hop on with a friend, and we have a keybind missing, which I know that was set on here. I originally set it on here, so I don't know why that changed. Yeah, I have that turned off, so why? Build menu. B. Okay. Continue. Alright. Better. So then I was starting to set up stream, and that became its own endeavor because I don't work with green screens terribly often, and that was challenging for me. I had to rearrange some lights, change out the screen. It's kind of a more satiny screen, and it's more wrinkle free. So the hope was it would take less effort to get a good green screen effect, and it does seem to work really well. So I'm glad I've gotten that. It's all in the lighting anyway, but that seemed to be a little bit easier. I didn't have to have quite as much direct control over it. Then it was trying to set up cameras, and I hit a huge snag on the getting this effect where there's me and filming the CRT. I could just capture the CRT separately, and you'd get a 1280 by 1024 square, probably. What would that be? That's not 3x4, but you get a pretty square image, and that would look fine, but you'd miss out on literally all of the CRT qualities. So the challenge was, how do I film the screen without any of the screen artifacts? And I've done it with the OBSBot Tiny 2 very easily with auto settings, and I think it just happened to default to really good settings. Whereas when I used the Elgato to do this, I ran into problems. And basically, the solution was to manually set my frame rate to 1/60th of a second, and that seemed to sync up well with the digital sensor to where there's not too much banding. So you guys will probably occasionally see a slow kind of progressing band across the screen. I think I can get rid of that if I filmed at 30 FPS, but I don't mind that. It's kind of just a reality check that we're actually on a CRT. Of course, I don't see that. It's just the desync between how a CRT renders the screen and then how everything gets captured. Because our eyes have what's called image persistence. So we can perceive things for longer than camera sensors can. So like things like motion blur to a camera are very different than our eyes, because we almost have like we kind of remember the last frame, and things that are changing in front of us rapidly seem to still be present. Just like if you film a light bulb, an LED light bulb, it's probably going to flicker, or like a fluorescent lamp, it's going to flicker. But if we look at it, it does not, because our eyes have more persistence than cameras do. And it can get really, really technically deep with all that, but I will spare you all the nitty-gritty at the moment. But I did get that synced up, and that was a huge relief. And then I ended up taking like 4 hours to do that whole process, so I missed out on the original plan. So I wanted to get down here and get set up today. Let me make sure. Don't have any carrots to cook. I might try to get a little more food on deck before I head out. I'm going to try to go explore the swamp a little bit in the next morning. And you have lots and lots of meat. I guess we could eat honey and different things like that. Just use it as our kind of stamina base. So I wanted to stream today to make a proof of concept of this whole setup, because this is cool. I really like how this is set up. I solved a lot of tiny problems to get this to work. And then you guys had to sit here and watch me struggle for about 45 minutes to get the rest of that set up. And I wanted to document that because I need to tear it all apart. And the reason I'm tearing it all apart is we have how do I phrase this? A tool will be in the mail soon that I am extremely excited about. I've been waiting years to purchase one because I wanted the price to come down, and I wanted to make sure the product was properly vetted. And that will be here next week. So I need to... The room needs to change. The room's been kind of a studio for some webcam testing and streaming. Now it needs to become a workshop again, a little project room. So that will be on the docket. That's really accelerating my timeline for a few things, because I want to teach everything I know and demonstrate everything live on stream as we work up to this different tool. And before I carry on, let me acknowledge Mr. Junk Midget. Hello, sir. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Okay, you're going to go in and grab some food. Sorry, I would have said hello sooner, but I wanted to finish my thought for clarity in the edit later. But welcome in, welcome in. Go get your food. Feel free to raid and run as needed. But I hate that it's raining. I really need to go to the swamp. Well, the swamp's gonna rain. What am I complaining about? It rains at the swamp. So where does this go? This is our blank portal. I don't actually remember, which is sad. And I meant to say at the beginning of stream, I wanted to thank Johnny Bravo for taking care of the stream. Last time I wasn't able to be here, so I really appreciate that he stepped up to drop in like that and take care of you guys, give you guys some good entertainment. But at least we're back with good old Fi now, and we don't have to worry anymore. So this is the hut that I've built. Okay, so this does actually go straight over there. So what did I have? Okay, so I got rid of the portal east, and I made materials. I was saving materials for somewhere else. But this takes us right over by the Draugr village, which is pretty exciting. So let's take a spin over here and try not to get too involved, because I really wouldn't have a chance. Double check that that's all set. Okay, so what we did to get here was we built a boat and we sailed and did a little bit of exploring, and I don't recall where I left the boat. Maybe back here, or maybe I destroyed it. It's a little bit confusing to me at the moment. Things that were remembered are not currently occurring. But let me double check I don't have boat materials in here. I'm confused. I don't know where my boat is. But it provided its need, I guess, which was getting to the swamp. We've defeated the Elder. That was last episode, and now we're pushing on to Iron tier. So I think we maybe need to clear out this Draugr camp, and I have some arrows. Swap those over, and then I think we need to start pushing into the swamp and get our first iron, and then hopefully we can locate. It actually wouldn't be a terribly long trip for us to potentially make another boat and bring our iron back and smelt it at the main base. But we're up on a hill, so there's some considerations there, and I'm trying to be efficient with this playthrough. I want to get through the game for once. I have trouble getting through the game. I usually stall out at the plains. So the tool that's coming in the mail. Oh dear God, they're loose. Come here, buddy. Oh, come on. Alright. Let's do this proper lag. Okay, making sure there's nothing in here. Bone piles or anything. So good there. This one's cleared. There's a bunch in there. And a pile. The tool that's coming in the mail is a laser engraver, which I'm extremely excited about. This would have come out maybe 2 years ago, 1 to 2 years ago. Holy moly. And what the heck, dude? What on earth? Why did he just randomly shoot at a boar? I don't get that. It's frustrating because they're probably going to break out. Oh, are there 2 in there? Oh man, this is going to suck. Oh boy. But this engraver is of a particular type. It uses a galvanometer to direct the laser, which are 2 mirrors at a specific, I think it's just 45 degrees at a specific angle. But it basically would send in the laser light, and then these galvo motors would very accurately control the position of those mirrors. And because the mirrors are so light, they can be moved really, really quickly. So it basically just deflects the laser beam to different directions. And then it shoots through a very specific lens that can account for the, I don't know if field curvature is the right word, but basically it has to go farther to the edge of a plane versus straight down. So it optically corrects for that. And it can do all this really, really quickly. And then the laser source is ultraviolet. And ultraviolet has some unique properties when it interacts with materials that should make this laser extremely versatile, though not necessarily the most capable. I should be able to affect more materials than I can currently with my old laser, but some materials it may still be kind of slow, like metals. It'll be new and I can do it, but likely I won't be cutting through that. Holy fucking crap. I wasn't paying attention to how much damage they were doing to that. So I think we need to try to take out archers first. Though of course, kind of screwed here. Ow. God damn. I'm gonna start heading back. Because I'm gonna die. They're gonna kill me. And I want to be closer. I don't want to have to run all the way. Oh! Yeah, I called it. I did put myself in that situation. Absolutely did. Now those are loose. Crap. This is what I get when I think about cool lasers and try to play game. Okay, so as we've done so many times before, let's eat some food. Let's get our rested buff. And then we'll head back out there. I currently have a laser engraver that is diode based. It's diode based, so it's a violet kind of purple color. And it can affect organic materials like wood. But it's on a gantry system, so it's like a physical laser diode and lens assembly that has to be moved. Kind of parallel to the surface it's working on. And obviously moving anything more than a mirror is there's significantly more mass So that laser runs much, much slower for its peak speeds. And for some of the projects I want to do... Oh, man. They really are right over there. Crap. For some of the projects that I want to do... Would you guys chill? God dang it. For some of the projects that I want to do, having kind of that lightning quick speed is going to be an enormous time saver. There's a project where I want to take... Oh, there's my boat. Why is it down here? Maybe I bailed as soon as I saw all this. All right, let's equip our gear and our making yard. Select our arrows that we want to use, and we'll get prepped here. So I'd like to take a big image that has, if you were to print it on the right size printer, enough resolution to go like on a wall or be like 2 feet by 3 feet or something like that. I want to take that image and use a laser engraver to transfer the image onto paper or something, just to be able to have for you to get the idea, enough resolution for you to get the idea of what it is. You can see it, but it's not like full color or anything. It's just black and white, just monochrome. But the resolution is going to be the main key to everything. And you can get really high resolution with the gantry laser engraver, and that works completely fine. It just takes like 11 plus minutes to run through. Whereas it might take more like... I'm trying to think exactly how long like a minute maybe to run through on a galvo-based laser. So in that event, when it arrives, we'll be doing a lot of shit. Good freaking crap. So that's a 1-star archer. I don't think there's any beating him. It would take so many arrows. I parried that. I think the parry timing was actually spot on there. And you could hear me block, and it went straight through the parry block and its bonus and completely killed me. So I think we need to get in there, dodge all those arrows, get my stuff, and then just run. I don't think there's a chance. Yeah, I could potentially, my stuff could be stuck there. I don't know that I'm going to have a flying chance here. But if I sneak well enough, there he is. So he can get distracted by the deer, I hope. Wow. What the heck? That wasn't hard. Okay. We really don't need you. Please just go away. I'm halfway tempted to just hop in the boat and run. Oh, man. I don't want to alert them. I want them hearing me. And I can't have this guy sneak up behind me. And he about killed me. Jeez. And now I forgot to get my rested. I happened to get it though. So we're gonna sit here and try to recover a little bit of health. It may not be worth it. Honestly, I think I'm one shot no matter what I do. We already tried it with the shield. Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's always got to be the 1-star archer. Hiding in these places, that just ruins your day. But that's the challenge of it. So, I was in this middle area. Right by those guys. I don't see the archer. They're walking off. I think that is actually the archer. Stuck in there. That's 2 elites. My goodness. We're gonna run. Try to put my gear on. And there's still a bone pile in there that would be generating everything. And I have... How much wood do I have? Do I have enough? I do not have a workbench. So these guys are having fun, just walking around, looking for me. Love that for me. My main concern is that if I don't deal with the bone pile, what if it just keeps spawning more elites and more archers? So, and then I heard a skeleton. Oh yeah, because we're right by the swamp. And then I heard an archer, a skeleton archer. And there's a Draugr, and there's a 1-star skeleton. God dang it. I'm not used to these guys still hurting. I need to get out of here. Please don't shoot me in the back. Please don't shoot me in the back. Oof. They're friendly to each other, Draugrs and skeletons, so not good for me. Archer's way back there. Okay, he's running away now. I think forevermore we just avoid this village. We definitely need resources from it. That would be kind of ideal, but stuff's just not happening right now at the moment. So I'd like to collect the rest of this. Why don't we go rest? Then we'll maybe use our boat to get around a little bit and get a better view of this island. And we'll go from there. I guess eventually we could move. We could build another base in the swamp. If I were able to find an adjacent black forest on the far side, potentially, could build up a base there. But I do have my black forest just across the way a tiny bit, so I could build a base kind of on the edge of that just to smelt iron and things. That would be pretty easy with the boat trips. That might be reasonable. Basically what I'm looking at is maybe building a base in the Black Forest just here. And then assuming this swamp is bigger, then I can just hop across and I'll be a little bit safer when I do my work. The other option is to build something in the swamp, but have an adjacent Black Forest because you still need your copper and tin to make your bronze, to have all of your forge upgrades and everything. So it's kind of trying to move forward, but not constantly be limited in moving resources huge distances by boat, because that is incredibly difficult. And yeah, you guys don't particularly see much when it's super dark. You just see my reflection in the little camera. So a little bit immersion breaking, but that's okay. It's kind of part of it. We'll wait for some of that food to recover. Let's repair our tools. And I think we do some sailing and get our plan of attack. Maybe we'll get the perimeter of the swamp planned out a little bit, and then we can start planning another forward base. If I can get turnip seeds, that really would be a pretty good early game changer. So that might be well worth taking a few risks if I can set this up well. But I think we definitely need to understand what we're dealing with for this swamp, how big it's looking. So let's get out here a little ways. Do some sailing on the CRT. It does look pretty. Definitely does. I like that. I like it. We'll look back and see this jogger village now where everybody's loose. It's terrifying. So we're heading into a little bit of a headwind. So we're just on the oar, paddling at the moment. But we should be able to round the corner, hopefully, and turn into some wind. Clear it up a little bit. Let's turn in. Drop sails. I don't spy any crypts. And the swamp's not looking very big. Bummer. But if we can find a crypt, it might still be enough to get us started. We do have a stag breaker already, so that really helps with crypts and tombs. That doesn't look like a very normal blob. Maybe it's just a rock. And is that meadows or is that plains right behind it? I'm really hoping that's meadows. It looks like meadows. I don't think I actually see... There's another swamp over here. And that's connected to the Black Forest. Right? So then, okay. So that's our strategy right there. Okay. So that's our teleporter to get there. I think we go back. We grab what I laid down to build that small hut. We'll grab that portal. Then we'll go into the Black Forest on the side that we want to be on. We'll build a base there with forge and everything. And we'll just pull resources from that area. We could bring out some if we need to. But I think that would get us going. Because our main base, you could ship materials back, but you'd have to carry it up the hill. And that would be rough. But at the same time, it's a very defensible base. On the other hand, you don't need that necessarily to work, and it's easy to give it up to move forward in the game. So I think this might be a decent strategy. I could save that portal setup and use it later, but we have the Draugr village in between us to get to the swamp, and I would rather come just north and south with a short boat trip that I could even, do by oar if I absolutely had to in a headwind, and pretty easily make all that happen by boat. So that is the plan. We're going to change our advanced base, our forward base. We're going to move it to the south side of this river so that we can have short boat rides to whatever we need. I forget how slow the carve is. It's a very slow boat. All right. Here we go. And I think we just break the teleportal. Make sure we've got the materials from that. I'll check this chest. And there's nothing critical in here. So we'll close the door, and we're going to leave that shack there for later. And I put this boat on the far side, so we got to swim to our ladder now. Okay. And I think we need to paddle our way out here. Get turned around, and then we can use the wind to get back. Hop onto the Black Forest side of things and start exploring. Now we can get a little wind in our sails. It's bizarre because this all feels so connected, just because you can jump across all these different areas. And from our start area, which I guess would have been back in here, this all feels like one island. And now we're getting to the swamp. So it feels like the swamp is on the starter island, but it's not. And it shouldn't be. I don't know if that actually is a thing, but hi, Curdy. How are you? Welcome in. See, you're burning the midnight oil per usual. I think I have somebody else that's burning the midnight oil as well, although they're actually trying to sleep, so that's good. Glad to hear it. So we were trying to get through a Draugr village to get to a swamp and died a few times. And then I thought, well, why don't we go around the village and the island by boat and see how big the island was. And the island was not very big. So then I was kind of like, where do we look instead? And I turned around and saw that our main island had a swamp connected to it. So we're just going to go over there and build a little advanced base over there, so we can not have to make boat trips everywhere. We can just run back and forth and do what we need to do. So that's my typical strategy, is whenever I can, build out by the next resource and just use that, because trying to bring materials back, that, you know, your new critical materials from any new biome, if you can't teleport it, it's boat, and it takes a lot of time. So I feel like I'd rather invest that time in building a base to work from instead of sailing back and forth a whole bunch. But the sailing's fun. It's just not at this tier with the carve. And I've only used the long ship. The next one, I think. Whatever ship uses the iron nails. Oh, we have copper right here. Okay, so we could straight away start leveraging that. So let me, because we haven't actually explored this area, I think I should explore a little bit without getting into the swamp and see what we have around. If there's any bears to worry about, we have a tomb that we can raid, which is exciting because we do need some more Surtling cores to build. I don't have room for that. We do need those Surtling cores now to build our forge and our kiln. So that will be good. I'll just stay out of reach of them and then just mark my usual symbol there. And I'll clear these guys out real quick. Got a 1 star. Hey, not so bad. Alright. Let's kind of carry on parallel here. It's getting dark. Our rested buff is about expired. I don't think we're going to be building a base overnight, but maybe we build a little something just to be able to get a portal back to our bed. But we definitely want to stay alive. We don't want to die out here. It's a little less bad compared to the last area. We'd have to build a raft to get across, but hey, how'd he get me there? Okay. I'd better collect the Grey Dwarf Eyes, at the very least. Double check we don't have anything in here. We do. Arrows. Yeah, I can't carry any of that at the moment. So, there's our swamp. That crow scared me a little bit when it flew over. The swamp is looking decently sized. Quite possibly. I hate that the music just changed. Okay, it's still kind of going. It just feels so quiet right now. It's eerie. This Black Forest is a lot bigger than I had originally thought. That's pretty cool. That's not swamp right ahead. Okay, I was kind of angling towards swamp, so that is a pretty sizable swamp so far. That is great. That is really good for us. So we had kind of a false start with our first swamp, which we found quickly, and I was excited about that. But this is looking to be our next best thing. I'm gonna mark these blueberries. Alright. There will be some automatic ads running in about 5 minutes. Well, good grief. I'll mark this copper. I'm getting annoyed by these guys. They're good at that, aren't they? So it really looks like this swamp just keeps going. Oh, we have 10 probably down here. So I'll mark that. Though we do have some decent coast back by where we were. So drop it down there. Technically right now we are heading closer to the base. I was going to turn back, but I'm going to keep chasing this swamp out and find the other limit of it, because if we can end up on the same side as our base, it might be a no-brainer at that point just to have a defensive base. Water. Ooh, skeleton showed up. Hey, buddy. There's a nest down there. This would be a great area for 10. And it looks like it keeps going that way. So I'm going to run down to the coastline and check my map again because I want to see. Well, my gosh. There's a lot of 10 down here. That's amazing. It might make sense to come over here. Simply based on the 10. Because that's a lot of... a resource to get access to. Though, you know, the actual capacity, you know, you just pick up the 10 one time and then it's gone. So that's the edge of our swamp. We could bring a boat over here. Hear a bear somewhere. I lost my arrested buff, so that's why. We're right by a troll cave too. Is that... what's between us? It wouldn't be too terrible to make that all happen. Definitely want to be coastal. This is going to have our 10. This, you know, worst case would be a much longer boat ride. So I think we start building maybe down in this kind of... it's kind of a swamp. It's more wet. Where is our bear? Oh, he's out in the water. Skeletons? Is he fighting skeletons? Yes. I don't really want to deal with a bear. I can tell you that. I need him gone if I'm going to live over here. But I don't want to die dealing with him. Be nice if he got pulled off into the swamp. Oh, there's always everything everywhere all at once. Oh, hey, buddy. Of course. Alright, so we're gonna deal with the bear at night without rested. Get up here again. I wish I had a fire. Campfire, I could just throw that out and he'd run away. I hear a skeleton behind me. Ow! Holy frick, dude. Oh my god. I was holding my shield. I guess the parry bonus is so much more effective there. Luckily, the AI is trash on the bears. So that's good. Man, we're gonna have to like wait out the night Minecraft style. Oh, it's so incredibly dark over there on the CRT. Wow. Okay. Other option is build a portal, rapid style, and use it just to get back. And as long as we aren't hanging around too much, it should be okay. So we're gonna sub out that. Oh. Oh, I do not have the health to deal with that. Okay. Come on. I cannot see. I know you guys nearly can't. You might actually be able to see better than me. You just have a reflection of me. Yeah, it's that time of night where it's incredibly dark. And I'm still fairly low health. So like, if I got poisoned, this would be bad. I need lumber, and I want to stay up here. I'm gonna drop. What are we gonna drop? Drop that. Okay, this should be my unnamed portal. Frick. 1 star. Almost got me there. Okay, got him. And there's a brute. I should be able to handle brutes at this point. He's getting double teamed by skeletons. It's kind of funny. Are you guys coming for me? Okay. Wow. 3 and 2 hits. What a deal. Okay, so we're gonna try to place the crafting bench. And then our portal here. Oh, right there. Should connect. Go in. Okay. Oh, that was a little bit stressful. That is gonna take us to here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit escape. We're gonna take a quick break, and I will be right back. All right. We are back. Sounds good, Curdy. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. All right. So, let's sleep. I might as well hit save here. We'll sleep. Turn it to day. I think we'll check the carrots briefly. Maybe grab some honey. Maybe drop off some materials. And then we can head back out there, deconstruct the portal, find a little bit better place in daylight to build, and start. Oh, look at all these lovely carrots. I'm going to leave them be and just do a big harvest when I come back next time. Alright, let's go through. Should be a little bit of daylight we can work from. Looks good. Looks good. We collected everything. Alright. We're back. It's foggy. That's the wrong way. Into the fog. Should probably situate. It would be nice to be right on the coast, but bringing a cart back with copper would suck. Big time. I could build a path through the low-lying area, I think, reasonably well. So I think maybe we look at a little bit higher up. Oh, we have another tomb. We'll just mark that. Hey, buddy. So I'm trying to find the edge of the swamp. Oh, there's our bear again. God, he did so much damage last time. Kind of just need him gone. Of course, I've picked up our portal. Nice. Oh no. That's the big one. Jeez. That one's hard to block. I need more health. I can't handle another one of those. I should look into the trinkets. I feel like they would be extremely helpful this stage of the game. So maybe one of the bronze ones. Gosh, it's that one hit, and it changes the. I felt confident and then blocked without a parry bonus, and the man demolished me. Oh, and we're on top of the troll cave. Let's mark the troll cave, too. Well, we drug him over here. If we run back to where we were, he'll probably lose aggro. and we'll have a minute. Oh, here's copper. Just as soon as I say that, I see more yummy resources that I need to mark. So yeah, this little low-lying area would be a great area to get started in. We just can't have a bear. Just not an option. So I think because you always return with a heavy cart. So if you're low down, then you're always downhill. Or at least at some point you'd have to be downhill with a loaded cart. So if I get closer to the swamp, not close enough for like a wraith to pull an aggro from a wraith, but close enough to get something done. I mean, we could repurpose this. Wouldn't be the worst. It's a little bit high up, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We've done this once before. This was our first base. Hello, guys. Okay. Mr. Root. Yeah, we'll just, we're gonna make this happen right around here. So let's kind of stay wary of all of our friends that we have running around here, but we're gonna start leveling out the ground. We'll probably end up building stone walls like the first place. And I've got a great idea for how to make that 2-for-1 deal. As we collect copper from that copper node that's right next to us, we'll get stone. So we can kind of do two things at once there. But I think we'll start with wooden walls. We can at least recover them if we need to. Still have a rested bonus. I just guess I'm used to having more stamina than I currently have. Ooh, there, buddy. Wish these were fir trees. We get a lot more of the wood that we need right off the bat, but that's okay. It looks like we're full up anyway. So we're in the... We need a workbench. Let's put you on the side here. And we'll kind of start where we've actually cleared. And maybe use this kind of ridge line a little bit. Out of wood. Not a big surprise there. Picked up a pine cone. We'll definitely have a lot of core wood at the end of this. It'll be nice. So with the wood, we'll make the fence. And I think the fence should be reasonable for defense. Kind of wondering how it would actually hold up to Draugr. But I have built wood fences in swamps before, so maybe it is possible to work. A little bit of a natural defense from this cliff. And then let's go after some of the these fir logs on the ground. Get a little more wood for our work. Break down some of these trees that are right by our wall. Probably should have done that before I built the wall, because now it takes damage. Ooh. There we go. Thought that one wasn't going to fall for a second. Famous last words, but nothing's bothered me for a few minutes here. So hopefully we kind of got them cleared out. Watch that bear just run over. You were talking about me? Okay. Now I think we can move to repair mode. Good. Shit. Okay. Is he gonna attack it? No. Okay. That was scary. Oh, fuck. There's even a... Why is there a blob so close? Come on, buddy. Don't poison me, please. Okay. I don't know if they were strays or if they did actually... I mean, clearly they heard me, but maybe they were just pulled from like super long distance. But I don't want to deal with that. I thought it was farther away than that. I was just saying how it was kind of quiet. Maybe... Yeah, we should probably just play this, just use what we got. Obviously, the CRT screen is low resolution, but it's so nice to look at the same time. Like, it's smooth. I'm sitting really far away from it, so like I'm not able to see every single pixel as if I were sitting closer, but it just the nature of it, how it works, is looks really, really nice from this distance. Okay, so if they're getting so close so quickly, I am pretty worried about my base here. If it's gonna be able to hold up to a raid or anything like that. There you go. So maybe we do at least dig a trench. I think that might be reasonable. I hate to do it because it's incredibly time intensive.
but it might be what we need to do. Okay. These are all pretty much ready. Yes, they are. Let's collect some carrots. And in fact, we actually have some still growing, so we won't collect all these. Although they all seem to be pulling. I know I placed these last. They must all be grown then. There's a little bonus. Good. I'm going to plant some of these before I forget. And I'll compare to how many seeds I have left over. Just 20. So we definitely need to get more seeds. Don't have enough to just ignore it. So I'll plant maybe a third of this. Back as seeds. Missing my rested buff, so let's get a quick buff here. Okay. There we go. I did just have a fun idea. What if we kept the trend of playing games on weird screens going? I have like some video monitors, like tiny screens. It'd be fun to do little game challenges, like win a solo round of no build in Fortnite on a like a viewfinder for a camera or something. That might be kind of fun. It'd be fun to experiment with different uses for things as well, because I always learn so much doing that. Okay, so we have enough seeds there. We've got 49 carrots. So I think we'll just grab the rest of these. We'll replant what I have left of those seeds, and then we'll just call it good. I don't think we need to plant every single carrot at this point. We've got a lot going, a lot planted, and it's just for me. Just little old me. I could clear this out. Ooh. Swap. There. Okay. Of course, our troll friend. Blessing and a curse. Let's see about dropping off some stuff here. Thistle, I think we were keeping in. Were we not saving thistle? We were. Okay. And that dropped off meat there, so we'll just grab that and make some carrot soup. What are we missing? Mushrooms, of course. Hopefully we have a lot of mushrooms. I have not personally been collecting them for a while. We'll put back some carrots, grab some more. That's 2 to 1 though. That didn't help me at all. We'll put the leather scraps kind of in the crafting one. I don't need all of the Grey Dwarf eyes. So we'll throw these down here. And we'll grab our carrots back. Where did I put the carrots? There they are. It is pretty hard to see this screen. I can't lie. In that regard, it is a touch difficult. But I don't feel a whole lot of eye strain. If it gets too much later and we're streaming, I'll put my blue light glasses on. But I think so far, if I get away from the smoke, I think so far we're doing pretty well here. Definitely putting these carrots to use. I mean, that's quite a bit of soup for us. It'll last a little decent while. Good soup. I think I'll call that good. I don't want to run through absolutely every resource that we have at the moment. I probably could have done with making one more. Because now we have one extra boar meat. Laying around. So I'll pick up these carrots across, plant the rest for extra seeds, just as the game gets incredibly dark here. And make whatever leftover carrot stew we can. Got 10 left. Oh, it takes 3 carrots. Dang it. What have I done? I've made my situation worse. Dang it. I was trying to count that evenly. That's okay. We'll throw... Our chests are going to get messy here. Just what it'll be, unfortunately. The cares are falling away as the game gets hard. Okay. Let's crouch. And we'll sleep the night. We should be able to get back over, finish our wall, start collecting some initial copper and tin. Maybe we can hit some of those tombs, and we could get some Surtling cores, and then that'll net us some extra stone. If we want to build walls, we could dig a trench. There's a variety of things we could do there, and then we'll be set up with a good solid base that we can return to when we inevitably die a billion times in this one. I'm gonna cook up our deer. Since it doesn't matter, the next recipe that uses deer is with cooked deer. It's not like boar meat where you want to keep it raw so that you can use it later. Ah, yes. If only cooking were this easy in real life. Five more to go after this. Very good. Might as well drink water while we got this going. Okay, that is all cooked up. And we've got a spare food chest over here, it looks like. It's turned into a food chest. It didn't start that way. We'll put extra carrot soup there. We've got these. And we could just eat that extra boar meat. I'm gonna take a couple of these things out. That's becoming more and more of a food chest. Okay. Onward. Would be nice to kind of keep coal going at one of these bases. Not the biggest deal. And I could just break... Oh, what have I done? I placed this portal backwards. There it is. Okay, so I don't think we quite have enough wood. We'll need to collect this last little bit. Hopefully nothing hears us, like last time. These early mornings look absolutely incredible in the CRT. With the light rays and everything. I don't think you guys can see this little speck of dust. Well, if it's a scratch. Some food. Yeah, kind of got it. Take a look over this ridge. Oh, that's an elite. What the frick, man? What on earth? It's not fair. Okay, we have some walls. And now we need... we need, like, some big-time stairs. And somewhere to stand up here. And then maybe... tiny thing there, and we can get all the way up on the roof. And now we can shoot at things. Not that we can see things, unfortunately. Oh god. They're demolishing the walls. We have a lot of extra core wood, so I think we could build spikes pretty easily here. So, misc, spike. Oh, it takes so much wood though. Okay. Still, man, we don't have very much health food at the moment. Come on, guys. Let's build doors here. Kind of just calls to me. Being doors. And we'll just, yeah, we don't have that. We don't have enough for that. So we'll stick you connected there. And then if we have a core wood log, we can fill that gap a little bit. That looks weird. Works for me though. So Copper, copper, copper. We've got tons of tin. We're gonna have visitors as soon as we do anything, it seems like. So I wonder... Let's see what we can do with the hoe. Can we... That's pretty meager, honestly. If we were to raise it... It's not terrible. And then I guess maybe we'd try to dig a trench here. I guess it wouldn't have to be the deepest, just enough that they can't reach the... Are we trying to troll-proof this, or are we... What's our goal, I guess? I think if we can stop things from walking in, that would be our bare minimum. We don't have very much health food. A lot of stamina food. So hopefully they don't come running up the mountain like they were kind of looking at. They were looking at it. So hopefully this is worth it. I mean, you'd need a portal base in the swamp. This is kind of an intermediate, but it's nearby, so maybe it would make sense to be like more centrally located in the swamp. It's not really a terrible idea. And then just build pathways outward from there. Because looking at it right now, this is going to take some time. I don't think I want to dig walls. I think we could build a perimeter. Yeah, we could build walls because we need to collect copper. We could build like just outside of our wood walls and almost like incorporate them. Maybe not quite like that. We can't leave out of our door anymore, but okay. I mean, it's not too bad. That seems a lot more doable. Yep, I think we'll build instead of dig. So why don't we just go down here? We'll start collecting some copper. See what happens. Handy little trick I've learned recently is with the hoe, go around and place so that you're removing the most amount of dirt. And that'll reveal more of the copper so you can get your easy access sooner. Cheaply, because you won't have to dig at it. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's not good. Is that the... Okay, he's not elite. But he is a freaking 1-star. Okay, that did some decent damage. I think he can't hit us at this range. So, as long as he doesn't move... Fuck. I got my timing off. Got greedy. Any damage is better than no damage, I guess. Oh, we're just in the perfect spot. But man, he took us down to 3 health. Oh, he moved. Okay. One more shot. Oh, God. Those are scary. Very scary this early in the game. Or what feels like early in the game. I'm just playing farther than I typically do. Good deal. I'm apprehensive. I'm worried that bear or something's gonna come running up, or a troll. Hell, if a troll ran up, we'll borrow him for a minute. I guess I could make a bed. It probably doesn't make sense to make a bed here. We do have the elder ability. Let's use that. Of course, our crafting bench, we can't use it. I don't have a roof over it. I only have one of these. I do have 2 axes on me. Good. We can get some work done here then. Sounds like we upset a gray dwarf. The second they see you, they start running. You really have to be sneaking. There we go. It would be nice to have a troll to knock out this initial bit. That will deal. Collect what we need to collect. There's our bear down there. Right off there. Alright, let's make a trip up. Of course, we don't have any materials for that, so I'm gonna just throw the stone out and the copper. That won't despawn because we have our workbench there. Oh, now I have enough wood for it. I should have collected that on the way in. Let's stick it right there. And then we'll go collect the last little bit that we can with whatever we have remaining on tools and on time. Our elder ability. I think I heard a Draugr. You know, there's something to be said for it not being super dreary when you're in the swamp. Like if I built a base in the swamp, I'd just feel depressed all the time. At least out here, I could kind of have a fresh breath of fresh air. Might make it worth it. Okay, that's that collected. It's actually decent progress. The elder ability really helps there. I'm going to drop that off there. We'll run back and repair, sleep, and deconstruct our 2 furnaces, and we'll probably grab some of our coal. Do we have much coal left? Yes. Yes, we do. Leave that actually there. And I'm going to be bad and just drop random things. Okay, there's those. Things are doing good over there. And let's see how much. Ooh, exactly 450. Perfect. Lots of coal to bring with us. I'm glad I kind of stocked up on that when I had the troll doing some work for me. Let's find a place to put this. Yeah. That ought to work. And really, we could just place one for now. Alright, aside for the coal. And then we'll place the other materials in here. But we'll get out our stuff and we'll start smelting some copper. Alright, let's jump through here. And we'll head over by our bed. And that is going to wrap it up for me this evening. I'm going to probably take the entire setup that I've put together apart. So it's going to be a little bit unfortunate in the future trying to get it set up again, but at least I've talked about it enough times I can scroll back through the VOD and figure it out if I need to, but hopefully I've learned something from it. So thank you so much for joining me on this fun little adventure, doing a retro stream on the CRT, continuing our Valheim playthrough as well. And let me check quickly if I have any friends available to raid. I think we'll raid somebody for sure. And we have a couple people. So we're gonna raid Girlrilla. She mostly plays Call of the Wild, which is a hunting game. She's from Australia. She has a background in photography. She's a mom, and really, really fun to hang out with. So I'll leave you guys in her capable hands. She'll keep you entertained. It should be the morning for her, so she's probably having Vegemite toast, as she seems to have, as my monitor disconnects there. And the whole stream seems to break. So we're going to go ahead and get this working for us. There we are. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And enjoy the raid.